Welcome to the channel. My name's Colin. We're here at the cabin in Oaxaca, Mexico. This week what I'm working on is the shower and bathroom house outside. So we got our cabin right here, and I've got these stairs coming off, I guess, in this direction, right hand side. I'm gonna build a little path that'll enter in between these two trees, and I'm gonna have our shower house right there. Up until this point, we've just been showering in a temporary tent structure, using hot water out of a bucket. So, my wife being from Mexico City, born and raised, it's already been a pretty drastic change for her coming out here. So I know she will just be tickled pink if I finish this shower sooner than later. So I've already got the foundation kind of started. Here, let's go take a look at what I'm talking about. Up until this point, I've just kind of been breaking ground, leveling it out. I haven't leveled it out entirely because I am planning on using cement pillars, 4 in each corner. So it doesn't have to be perfectly level. Honestly, I'm not sure if I even had to dig all this out, but I enjoy digging, and it just kind of gave me some time to reflect on what exactly I'm going to do, how I want to build this. And, just the process of getting started helps a whole lot, for me at least. I've officially started the project using just what tools I had on hand. Starting's the hardest part most of the time, so I'm just glad I got started. Let's go take a look at my tool shed, and I'll show you what I want to be similar with our bathroom and what's going to be different. So I'm going to build our shower pretty much exactly the same concept. Basically, I'm just gonna do 8 by 8, so 2 sheets of plywood, and that's gonna be my foundation. That's what I did here, but I was in such a rush to build this, so I didn't have much time before leaving on a vacation or a trip, and I needed somewhere to store a bunch of new tools that I had purchased. So before that, I didn't really have a good space or any room, so I threw this together as quick as I could. So I'm gonna show you what I don't really want to show you, but one of the main things I'm going to change is my foundation. What I did here is I used 4 cinder blocks for my foundations, and I tried to level the land as much as possible. In order to not have to cut so deep, I did this temporary barricade. I guess it's been more than temporary now, but I did this barricade to use some of that fill to level a lot quicker, and I'm not happy with it. We haven't had any hard rains, but I think if we do get a hard rain, I don't have a lot of confidence, so I'm gonna have to do something with this in the future. The cinder blocks, they didn't have any large pavers or anything, so this is as close as I could get, but doing the 4 made it really tricky to level everything out just right. So from the get-go, without a level foundation perfect, I was pretty much fighting that the whole entire time. So this time I'm going to make sure that everything is perfectly square, perfectly level, and on cement columns that are going to go deep into the ground. So learning. Okay, here I am going to do a ramp, like I said, so a similar ramp style going right in between the trees, 8 by 8. Instead, what the plan is that's going to be different is I am going to cover the walls. Obviously this I'm just going to leave unfinished. It's for tools, I don't care. But for the shower, I want to make it nice, so I'm going to use cement board. It comes in 8-foot by 4-foot sheets, just like plywood. So what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 to cover the entirety of the floor on top of my plywood, and 1 on each corner where I'm gonna have the shower. And then I'm gonna do some tile work, and I'm gonna build a little half wall in the middle, a little half wall, I don't know what to call it, but that's gonna divide the shower area, which I will tile. I have never done any tile work before, so this will be new for me, but I'm gonna kind of just figure it out as I go. But basically cement board, seal everything up as best I can, cover it with tile, have my drainage with my gray water going to the forest. I'll figure out that as well. And then I'm gonna have our composting toilet in one corner, and then I also want to see if I can have a little hand washing sink area with, a mirror and you know, some storage area for toiletries and things like that. I mean, obviously decorating that'll all come later on, but that's what I'm planning on doing for our shower. Today and in this episode, I'm gonna focus on just finishing off the foundation, getting it prepped and ready. Tomorrow I'm gonna buy cement, I'm gonna buy some boards and some sheets of plywood to get my foundation actually built. Then I'm gonna focus on walls, roof, doors, windows, I mean all that stuff, just to kind of get going. Foundation. All right, let's go. I was just about to crank my generator to cut up some stakes here for finding my square and level, and on the first pull I ripped this little handle off, so that's great. Gonna look online and kind of maybe pull this apart and see what I can do to fix this. So I took this protective cover off here, and inside, right around this outer edge, is where this gets spooled up. So this cordage gets spooled up in here, and when you pull it, the centrifugal force opens these guys and it causes it to crank on this shaft right here. So I don't know, basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use P-cord and replace the same length of this. I'm gonna play with this for a bit and see what I can figure out. I ended up just replacing it with this black paracord. It went in pretty easily, kind of made sense. So I'm just gonna tighten these bolts back down and hopefully this will start her right on up. I got it to start, but the problem is I couldn't get it to wind right back up again. I pulled it and it started on the first pull, but whatever spring mechanism is in there isn't wanting to engage to restring my P-cord. So back to the drawing board. After watching a YouTube video, I found out how to take this whole part off and reattach the spring. There's like a little hook on in there, and I could hear it clicking like it wasn't actually fully engaged. So I took it off, and there is like a little hook on the end of the spring that attaches to this face, and I just had to reattach and then wind it up. So now it will retract properly. So I'm gonna install it and hopefully that should be good. I got her all tightened down. It seems like it's all retracted properly. So I'm gonna put on the choke and I'm gonna crank her up and see if she starts. This is where I've gotten to today. I've gotten everything squared off and I'm digging my holes for my cement columns. I'm doing 2 feet. It doesn't freeze here, so I don't have to worry about frost line at all. And all this clay is pretty compact, so I'm not too worried. I'm just gonna do 2 feet, so about 60 centimeters deep on all these. So like I'm squared. Got 8 foot to center of each hole, 8, 8, 8, and then I did my diagonal checks to make sure that those were exactly the same length. So I'm square. I did phone a friend who's gonna come out and help me in a few days. I'm gonna pick up all the materials and he's gonna come and we're just gonna double check and we're gonna get level. I tried stringing everything by myself. Vanessa's looking after Aiden, but stringing everything and measurements, getting level, it was, I don't know, kind of at that point where it just started getting annoying. And with having to deviate to fixing the generator, crank arm or pull handle, it just kind of threw me off and I'm just not feeling it. So I'm gonna finish just by digging off these holes and call it that. Maybe come up with a list for what I need for materials to at least get the foundation finished when I have help from my buddy here in a couple days. So we'll just call that a wrap for the day. Cool.